Welcome. Nice to see you. You're welcome, Elena. How you doing? Good to see you. See you all here. It's an amazing day today. Elena, where are you from? Sweden. I had a couple of people from Denmark, Norway. You can write in the chat. You will have to ask Elena, do you have two devices? I started a webinar on earlier today, just a few minutes earlier. So just nice weather. Is it nice weather where you are? Elena, are you from Sweden or Denmark or Norway? All right, okay. I'm also from Sweden, yeah. Mm, I've lived here for almost 19 years of my life. So, but since I'm having the webinar internationally, I choose to run the webinars in English. For now, you all muted, so that's why you couldn't talk to me for now. But it's nice having you here. So in a moment, we'll soon start soon. I would like to pull up my slides. Welcome, Pia. Sarilena, welcome. Please, guys, you can try to put on your camera, but it's nice to always look at who I'm talking to. So you can have your camera on, please. We'll be starting soon. Please write in the chat where you're from, and if you need to grab a cup of coffee or tea, please do that. And also there will be a need to have something to write. Because there will be some tips and you would like to make some notes. I'm gonna stop sharing for now. Okay, welcome. Welcome, Natasha. I can pronounce, sorry, I cannot pronounce it. Inyasha. Did I correct? Okay, okay. Elena, yeah. Okay, thank you. Do I have Serenine? Yeah. Calling from Helsinki. Welcome. Welcome, Finland. Welcome. Please keep writing in the chat your name, where you come from, and grab a cup of coffee or tea. I have mine here, so you can see. I'm not a fan of coffee, but this time But yeah, please write in the chat. You're all muted for now. So take one cup of coffee. We have 120 minutes. That's approximately 2 hours to run this webinar today. Yeah, now it's good to go. We'll be starting now. And so what's going to happen is I'm going to share my slides and I'm going to guide you through certain things before we start. And so you know the structure of this webinar today. And one of it is, there you go. In a moment we'll be starting, but before we start, I would like to take you through what this webinar entails and what exactly we will be doing today, we'll be discussing today. As I mentioned earlier, take a cup of coffee, grab a notepad or paper and pen to write. Also, if you really want to get a comfortable place, you don't want to be disturbed, that would be also nice. Are you guys ready? You ready for the day? Me too, I'm ready. Okay. To start with, there will be some few things I would like to say before we go further. The webinar will take approximately 1 hour, 20 minutes. And also you are muted because I want you to concentrate to listen to me, and we can have some interaction on the chats there. Also, there will be some specific questions section. There's a Q&A where you can discuss, ask questions, and I will answer you. And also, if you want to send me particular, if there's something you don't want to discuss on the chat that is personally in concern with you, you can send me an email. My email address is there. This is my email address. You can send me an email. Okay. So, what we'll be doing here today. Well, there is 4 things you will learn in this webinar, but I have been able to put them into a structure. And this is what it looks like. We're going to discuss about depression and trauma. We'll also be looking into the research, the theoretical backgrounds, and what has been done scientifically and the results. And we'll also be discussing why and what makes this different, this webinar different. And guess what? We'll be talking about you, your now situation, how, why, and what next. And we'll also talk about solution packages, but not really in details. You can book a time if after the webinar, or you can stay as well. Those who have to really want to talk with me will stay. And then there'll be a Q&A section and we'll talk in details. Does that sound good? All right. So what exactly will we be talking about? As I mentioned, well, the idea of overweening trauma, overweening depression, or any kind of things you're passing on, you're going through right now without wasting so much time or money. Time is always valuable, right? And when we are unable to do things, finding ourselves in a particular situation, we end up losing money, we end up losing time, we end up not being able to do the things we're supposed to do. So we will look into that idea, why you and how you can overcome depression and trauma without losing money. And not only depression and trauma, there are other things, obstacles or challenges that comes in our way that we just find ourselves in a hopeless situation and take approaches that didn't get us results we want. So we'll be looking into that. And like I mentioned before, the overview of depression, what I mean there, and trauma, it's about the scientific part. We'll also be looking into the approaches and ways of healing from it that I have employed myself, and I have also encouraged my clients. I've used it on my clients' methods, integrated methods, and it has worked for them. Um, Also, how you'll be mastering your emotions. A few tips and things you should consider. And to be honest, I must say in this webinar that bear in mind, there's no quick fix. It takes commitment, it takes dedication, it takes process. It's a process of doing those things. It takes But I can guarantee you in 12 weeks, if you do what you have to do, you will get there. And that's the methods that I use, the guide framework that I have used and I have used for my clients, and really good results. All right. Like I mentioned in my advert, that you will learn how to shift your mindset. You will learn also successfully how to release and overcome barriers. You will also learn how to eliminate emotional attachments of the past. It could be anything. It could be personal emotional attachment. It could be your relationship. It could be place. It could be anything in your life that you probably um, feel you've not been able to deal with. Probably avoiding it. Probably feeling ashamed of it. But I want to tell you in this webinar that you're not alone. You're not alone, and there is nothing to be ashamed of. What you should, the moment you take that decision to address a problem, there is always a solution. Having the right tools, having the right people in your life, they bring you forward to the next level. I think that's most important. So, and then next, we can dive into the main thing. And then next, I'll be introducing myself. I'm not so fond talking more about myself. Rather, I want to talk about my clients. I want to talk about the people that brings me forward to this passion, why I become a coach, why I am who I am today, my journey in the past. That's it's also important for me to be able to teach what I live for and be able to be a good example. So I'm going to talk about myself in a short brief. Okay. Oh, yeah. Sorry. What was that? Hmm. Anyway, I went to. All right. Who am I? I'm a certified coach internationally. I practice neuro linguistic programming, hypnotherapy, and timeline coach. But in general, I'm a project manager. Have worked. My background comes within the industry, service, oil energy, and also lately I run my own company. But a corporate, that's my corporate life. But becoming a coach has been like a journey for me since I was 15, helping people, developing, not just helping just for helping, but also being part of their process. They want something, they need support. I've been doing that. And lately, when I moved to Sweden in 2003, something happened to me, but I thought it was just part of life. And it just go from one thing to another, one thing to another until 2014, I fainted at work. And that was the journey when I knew depression. It was a loss of my late father as well, but gradually it went into from one thing into another, dysfunctional relationships, unhealthy relationship that I thought were friends. We're talking about friends 16 years, 8 years, and so on. Uh, but what I learned in the process where I have to choose between life and death was a 4 minute decision of my life. I can't eat, I can't work, I can't sleep, I can't be who I'm supposed to be. I used to be a workaholic. I work a lot. And the first thing I had was burnout, and then it was depression, and then having those unhealthy relationship attachment, emotional attachment to what I thought that I can fix it wasn't the right thing to do, but it was too late then. And I found myself, my body just shut down. Going through that pain, those processes wasn't easy, wasn't cheap. It was time lost, money lost, my children. And I walked through that journey. And that brought me until that moment I stood by myself. I read a lot of books. I did a lot of things. I went to Vienna. I went to Germany, doctors, this and that. But one thing was it was me. I need to work on myself. I need to go within. I need to shape those, shut down those shadows, those belief system, those attachments. Of course, I'm not from Sweden, then I needed the environment, the people around me. But when you have people in your life, you need to start asking yourself, who are they? Who me? How do we grow together? Do we evolve together? Those were the journeys that I went. And it was a moment I have to know nutrients. I lost nutrients. My body can pick up anything. I was completely burnt out, exhausted, nothing. And that took 5 years of my life for my children. But how did I walk that journey? I started picking up the pieces from one layer to another. I used to work very well. All of a sudden, I can work. So that was my journey in a short while. But I decided I have to make that decision. And in 12 weeks, there was a turning point in my life. So what I did, I have to go back because I studied bachelor in Dalarna in here in Sweden. I had my first bachelor in 2008. I mean, 11, sorry. I started 2008. In 2012, I had my master's, was Sambik as a consultant, and before I had that, and things just wiped out. So I have to go back and reread, I was there, and acquire a new degree, a master degree again. But one thing I learned in my dark, so I called it dark night of the soul, was the need to be human. They need to be you and do not allow someone else to define who you are. They need to know what is healthy relationship, who am I and who are in my inner circle. Those things were very important. And it wasn't a quick fix. It was more of really surrendering. And here I am today. I've been able to go back and do what I love most. Uh, I work as a consultant and choose the kind of job I want to work with. Um, I spend time with the people that I love, but not by choice, but rather unconditional love. And I don't need to follow the crowd. Those were the things that were, I don't know what that means for you, but I'm just sharing a part of me. So that brings me to one question I'm going to ask you. And I want you to please write in the chat the following. Who are you? Please write in the chat the following questions, or you can also write this by yourself, make a note. With this following question is about your validation, how you see yourself. Who are you? You need to write those things in your own words. You look at yourself. For example, Elena, who are you? Who am I? Put those validation, those love in you, and how you describe yourself. Why do you describe yourself that way? How do you identify and measure your own happiness? What makes you happy? Where is that memory? What exactly do you feel very much alive without somebody telling you who you are because you already know who you are? Put those words down on your own in a paper, in a sheet of paper, wherever you're using. Type it down because no one can take that from you. Then the next question I'm asking you that I want you to write particularly in the chat is, what is your main goal for joining this webinar today? What brought you here? Please write down the last question in the webinar. I would like to see what exactly brought you here. What do you have in your mind that really brought you here? What is that desire that brought you here? And I'm giving 5 minutes for you to write down the questions on your own, on how you describe yourself, why you describe yourself that way, and also How do you identify your happiness and measure it? What's happiness for you? I give 5 minutes for that. And while you're doing that, in a moment, I'm going to ask you the question when it comes to this. You know why you are here, right? But the question I'm going to ask you is, what is stopping you to be where you want to be today? What is that thing in your life that you're battling with or facing or experiencing in your life? And what is stopping you today to be there, to live up to your dream, to have that desire? I want you to write down in the chat as well so I can see and we can discuss. In a moment, I'm going to now go into part one. And in the part one, we'll be talking about what you already know. You probably have heard about depression, you've heard about trauma, you heard about uh, low self-esteem, and all the categories. But the question is, yeah, I know I've heard, but what am I doing with it? What is it for me? What is the awareness? Yes, where is the gap? And what research has been done, what the clinical practice has been able to do. So we're going to dive in soon into those topics and what is being researched. Are you ready? All right, let's dive in then. I think I'm going to go like this. That'll be more practical. So now, so we're going to be talking about what brought you here. Yes, we've spoken about that. Now we're going to talk about part one, the scientific background about depression and trauma. And from above, as you can see, depression for me, if I have to look into what the scientific said, well, it's an emotional disorder. You generate from one thing to another. It comes from one symptom to another. It brings insomnia, you become moody, you're tired. There's all these categories that has been mentioned here. And as you can see, I don't know what this is for you, but if you can identify, this is something you probably is, related with. From in my case, it was most about the tiredness, lack of energy. I will be able to duplicate that anyway. I lost appetite, for example. So I can identify and relate to this, what research has been able to bring forward. You know, the insomnia was much, and yes, inability to concentrate. That has been migraines were sudden sometimes also. Even most of my clients can identify much with the tiredness and inability to concentrate. That has been much in my practice today that I come across with clients. Not so much, yeah, this by overwhelm behavior. And also this isolation can be because you're ashamed, you don't want to talk about it, you're probably hiding. And so scientific methods, I mean, the result has been able to bring forth this, that this is where it is today. And the summary of trauma is also much in a state where you wonder what exactly is trauma for you. Yeah, I don't know, but for me, it's more, it could be physical, emotional, or psychological abuse. And this can take place in any incident. It can be an experience, it could be anything to any particular person. But bear in mind that trauma or depression are very, very personal for one another, as an individual. It's a personal journey, it's a personal experience and cannot be generalized. But these were the definitions and description of what depression is, of what trauma is in a scientific space. Now, this is what we know. But what were the results when you have to do analysis and cross-examine what is real from actual experience of people, people's experience? And that was this. I was shocked in the first place when I can understand that the coronavirus that probably contributes to this. We have about 264 million people suffering from depression worldwide, and probably this it might increase. There's no new research in the past 4 weeks, but this were just 4 weeks old, and it's really tremendous and sad. And results shows also that women are mostly affected than men, and as well the contribution to this depression, it's all over, can be anything. It can lead to loss of job, it can be anything that generated, or loss of family, something like that. And there is also an argument that it is a genetical symptom. Some people have it biologically or environmental and psycho. To answer that, I would say yes, but also, mm, I think the only scary part of this was the suicide part, and it leads to one thing or another that I can guarantee, that I can say, I can argue, I can say from personal experience of things and of clients that I've had. They have contributions, I mean, integrated things, hybrid situations that led to that. And so I agree that it's a combination of environmental, physical, or biological factors that can lead to depression. So now we will dive into to the next slide about trauma. I think what was interesting with trauma is there are people really that's really were interviewed on a focus group in the age of 26 to 32. But what blows my mind most were the results where family members or friends, you know, that led what's the cause of trauma, 38%. And personal also 21, me one-on-one, or probably someone experiencing an awful situation, and that's 32%. And of course, inevitable situations have 14%. And those who also witness things, I mean, crime or something that's not pleasant, and those were 12%. In illness, and were very, very low to 3, in the sister 1%. But back to this point of 38%, that really was anyone the 32 for personal art. So that's very increase. And that goes back to this argument that I've had in the previous, that to say uh, trauma or depression are very, very personal. It's a personal journey, it's a personal experience. So when one is seeking for help or seeking for support, you cannot generalize and put the person in the system and say, well, this is the protocol and this is what is supposed to be done. No. And that's why we have this gap today. There is just a huge amount of people suffering with depression, or where is the help? You just keep on rolling in the system, trying new things, one thing or the other, never get anywhere. They never get out of the depression, or it just takes a lot of time and years before You just at the end, someone just give up and say, well, I've been suffering from depression for how long? I didn't get any help. And then the next thing, they're out of work, and it just bring the sad result. And unfortunate. But guess what? There is a solution. There is hope. There is other ways we can live and survive and overcome depression. And you can overcome anything in life if you put in the work, if you fight it, if you challenge it, and have the right support. That is my belief, and I hope that when you leave here today, you can sit back and now you're ready to take charge of your life, right? So, what is next? We're going to dive into part three. And the part three is more about why. Why am I doing this? And what is different from what has been done, and what is out there. Hmm? You ready? The difference is very personal. My role in my journey, in including my education and everything I have done in the past, and also becoming an hypnotherapy and timeline coach, and also employing neuro-linguistic programming, also methods and techniques. I personalize, not from only just reading, but also my own experience, my own skills, my own knowledge, and I've been able to help people. I mean, we're talking about solution based and focusing on a well-formed goals, and as well focusing on getting that person, my clients, to where they want to be. It's a process. Some gets quickly in 2 weeks, some 3 weeks. I have one client now that takes a lot of more. Yeah, but that's life. We're different. And I've mentioned before that it's very personal. The journey is also as in very takes time. Yes, what do I use? Tools and techniques. I employ and give services that is very personal. It's not so I can't generalize. I don't know your journey. I don't know what you've been through. I don't know what exactly you want to develop in your life or go. Um, but I know one thing, that's minor depression takes 3 to 12 months to process for people. 3 months for me, if one does what it does, you're fine. You don't need to be in depression for 5 years all your life and be medicated and create new problems. And I've known people who has gone through 2 years or even more in a deeper depression. But with this methods, for example, I've helped a client who has been going through for 20 years of trauma in different things. He's done everything. But we'll be able on the first section roles, he's been able to move forward, and he's put himself out to work now last week. Like I mentioned, I deal with practical experience. I integrate them, but I also want to know where my clients are coming from, where you're coming from. And I'm also a living witness. I don't teach what I haven't lived with. I don't teach what I haven't tried or which methods that works. And I don't put people into a scale. Rather, I see their journey. I work with their journey. So that is what makes today the webinar different. So my question now is now back to you. Like I said, this webinar is about you, and it's about you and your now situation. I don't know your journey. I don't know why you joined this webinar, except what you've mentioned now, but I know. Something brought you here. It's either you want to learn, you want to improve something in your life, you want to change. But what that change is, it's you alone that will determine it, how important it is for you, and are you ready to do what it takes. So my question to you, are you ready to be the king, the queen of your own life? I mean, to be the ownership of your life. Are you ready? You sitting there hearing my voice today, and we discussing, going through the slides and discussing topics, incidents, one experience. Are you ready to take charge of your life? Gonna give you a moment to think about it. Look into that thing, that one thing that you're struggling with, that one thing that you keep on questioning yourself about. What exactly it is? What have you done before? Or what could you have done differently? And what are you seeking today? Where do you want to go? What is your main goal in life that bring you to that next step to live your purpose? So the next is to ask you, are you experiencing depression? Is it trauma? What are you really having anxiety all about? Or is there anything in your life that is bringing you an emotional distress or any psychological pain, memory, loss? What is it? Or you're just looking for a change in your life. You're tired of just going through cycles. You just want to grow. You want to evolve. And you really, really need help or support on something or someone that will guide you through, support you through, and lay those well-formed goals and work towards it. Another question is, do you want a solution? A support that will help you to understand and overcome your if it's depression, if it's trauma, or any belief system that does not work for you and can bring you forward to that place you want to go. It is only you that can do the job, that can do that work, that determination on your own. So I have put down these words for you so you can identify your situation. Maybe it will help you to come forward to how you really, really, really feel in this current state. How do you really, really feel? You can write it down on your own words, jot it down, do that thinking inwardly to yourself in your own words. How do you really feel at those moments that you're sitting there hearing my voice? What exactly are you feeling about yourself, about your situation, about your life? Are you feeling stuck with your situation? What is that thing you cannot let go that's stopping you to go to move on? How do you feel? Or how does that thing make you feel? Is it something you want to go on with and continue to live in that pain or that distress? Is it a sleeping situation? You determine, just pinpointed that you are able to face your fear, to write it down, that this area in my life I'm struggling with, and I'm no longer satisfied. I don't want to live this life anymore, because that's the only way you can start creating that change, by coming to that place of taking responsibility, not blaming other people. You can't change other people, remember? You can't stop who comes to your life. You can't determine who should be around you, but you can determine if you want to stay. That's the difference. And what is your current? Are you satisfied with your current relationship? Are you satisfied and have that balance in life that you want to have? So I'm going to go to this. You might need a change in your life. You really, really, really say, I really want to change, and I am ready to say goodbye to my past. I'm ready to say enough is enough. Enough of going through this depression. Enough of having this trauma thing that I don't know how to deal with it. I really want to do. It's time. It's time to change. Walking away from any abusive relationship, emotional loss, or getting stuck in any old belief system that brings you to a low self-esteem and lack of motivation in life. That choice is yours and yours alone. Because why? It is only then you can make that change. Because the change that you want has to start from you. You have to be the change that you want in your life. All right. We're going to the next. If you need a moment to, I can still go back to the file. Let me know a little bit. In a moment, I have to move to the next slide. Okay. And by the way, I forgot to mention, there is a link that is for if you want to book a personal call with me, to talk with me, then you probably do not want to talk in the chat. There is, I've opened my calendar for personal calls, free calls, to just talk about your discovery, your situation, how can I support you, and probably advise you on things you can do that you can implement right away. So the link is in the chat, and you'll be able to book your own time, discovery time. So what we next going to talk about? We're going to talk about the journey to change. What is the most important thing? For example, the most important thing that you did yesterday that you are so proud of, you want to talk about today, that you can reflect upon, that you really did this for yourself. What exactly is it? I'm asking you this to bring you into a total process, to boost your system, to start like coming to that point where you start going and want to look into yourself inside. Have I really, really been living in that moment for myself? Have I really, really brought myself to a place loving myself, noticing that time is not just running, but rather I'm bringing value to myself. I'm dedicating time for myself. I'm loving myself. What is that thing you can reflect on that you really, really putting yourself into consideration in your life? So now bringing you into the future, this is what I do with the methods of what I have learned. I learned to know, okay, what has happened in the past, I can't change it. What people has done, I can't change it. My mistake, I can undo it. But I learn, and I have to come to the present, looking into the present, bringing myself into the present. What can I do today that will bring me forward? Having that gratitude and striving for the future, because there is hope. And I encourage you, there is hope. Wherever you're going through, wherever is that thing that is stopping you, there is hope for you. There is solution that will bring you forward. You just have to go in within and determine that moment of change in your life. Like I mentioned, there are all the things you can really do. There are all the methods and techniques that can help you. There are a lot of things out there on the internet, a lot of providers, and they talk about this, they talk about, I've been there, I've run around, and even my clients have tried this, I've tried this, I've tried this. It didn't help me. But today in this webinar, you alone have to make that decision. I want to move forward. But I'm asking you, how will it be if you overcome depression and trauma or anxiety and start feeling that process, that, that's point where you start feeling that you're feeling much alive again. You start dealing with your past, that today you no longer feel the need to be chained to your past, but rather to be somebody that looks into the future, have that energy again, to have hope of life, to start living, having good relationship, new connections in your life, getting rid of the fears and the doubts, and working towards things that will bring you to your main goal. Spend time and put your energy on the things that you really desire. So when I talked about it in the fourth section, about the method that I use, and as I say, the framework. It is a personal journey, individual for everybody. It might mean anything for you, it might mean something else for someone else. But I can guarantee that this method does work for me, and it does work for my clients. So let's dive in. What is that thing in a moment of your life that you feel like, okay, this has been, I was struggling with this, but today you are here. At least you can change the future. You can do something different today. And that comes to that is having the moment of gratitude. Thank you for my past. Thank you for all the abuse. Thank you for whatever wrongs I've done. Thank you for the poor decision. Thank you for toxic relationship, whatever it is in your life. But coming to that place of gratitude. And it's just not the word, it's something you need to work and shave off. You might cut relationships. You might change a new job. Totally surrender. We're talking about total surrender. And then when you've done that work in the first week, then you started putting in work, starting getting aware of those things, taking responsibility for the things you have done, have contributed to your situation and to why you are where you are. And it's about journaling and sharing, working it through yourself. There are exercises, there are instructions you will get to do all this. There's no quick fix, but you have to do the work, because only you know you're taking responsibility, you are in charge. And when dealing with gratitude and awareness, it brings you to the place of coming to that point that you understand that, well, I have the awareness, I have the gratitude, and then accountability, being accountable. You're not accountable for the things that you've done to others that have much wronged them. Are you ready to face the back? It's easy to point A, B, C. Yeah, but what about your part? And now I ask the attitude that you put in. What is my attitude in all this? That's where the change come. You have a new perspective to so many things. You change and reform, and you're committed to it. Not compromising, but rather committed to it because that's your new you. But all these methods takes a deep work. It takes a deep work. It's not you sitting and just reading a book. No, you're doing the work. Complete total reprogramming process. And this will take you 12 weeks. And not only doing the work, you'll be having a mentoring session as well. And you go hand to hand. 12 serious, deep work. And in that, you'll be doing your personal development. You'll be working through different areas of your life. Is it love life? Is it career? Things that bring you into a place of safety, life fulfillment. We're going to go through every system. We're going to go through it. Where are you now? What needs to be done? And what is your goal? Where do you want to go? And that goes in that methods. You're going to apply it. And there will be definitions that come from you. You're going to do the work. I'm going to support you in a way. That's my role. My role is to support you, is to guide you, is to build it up. Become a teamwork. Well, the mind is to bring you to a mindset of really reprogramming your system, reprogramming how you think, reprogramming who you are, where you want to go, like I said. But it's a completely reprogramming and how you communicate, how you see your environment, how you see people in your life. It brings you to a complete new perspective in life. And that is anchoring. When I mean anchoring, we're talking about the techniques that I had to use in the neuro-linguistic programming in combining with hypnotherapy. Timeline is where you've been, and you need to address it and release it. You need to work on it. So there are processes in all this that brings you forward. And we're doing 2, 3 things important is to bring you to the present state, anchoring you into the present, looking you into the future. We use techniques by reprogramming your mind, your thought, your body, completely shift you to your conscious and your conscious belief system into a positive state. It's a deep work. If it's trauma, there are sections that we help that you really need to guide one by one. We need to go through it. What exactly? Some it takes time. Yeah, then it's very personal. You will take your time to work on it. You do your validations, you do your affirmations. Those are the points when you need to walk in. And I must say, yeah, personal experience for the client, some people get triggered, and then we slow down and work through a process until they get stable again and come back and continue and continue. And there'll be progressive result, excellent result. The guy in Zurich completely fine today now. And these are things that I work for, and I'm glad that I'm a living soul to bring this forward, to share this knowledge, to share this newness. You work also the past into the present because people say forget about the past. Yeah, well, the past has reformed us to a place of state, and that's it. You need to work in your, your soul connection to your relationship. For example, your parents, you can change them, you can forget about them. Your siblings, you can forget about them. Your children, you can forget about them. They become part of you. And so are other people that gets connected to you, to your life. And then now the question is anchoring the past to the present. Before you start looking into where you want to go, you ask yourself, why is this important for you? Why is that person important for you? Why is that connection important for you? Why is that relationship important for you? What job do you want to work? I know you wake up in the morning and you feel like, wow, I'm excited and I'm going to work. I mean, living in the moment and living your passion, live with a purpose. Those are the job we do together that brings you. I did it. My client has done it, and some they are still doing it. But there is hope, there is solution. But that decision is yours to make. The question is, when do you want to do it? When do you want to make that decision? Also, in the 12 weeks, there are instructions, the exercises that you will take with you. They are saying, I keep on repeating and repeating. It's very, very personal. There is no quick fix. I need to look into your journey. You need to know, okay, this is it. What exactly and where do you want to go? That would define the analysis, how to do what we're going to do. And one of the methods I can give you, this is a tips. You can do exercises that will bring you straight to a place of loving place, and place you always want to go. And in the section though, I recommend things, but this is, like I said, is very personal. But for when you leave here today, these are things you could try. What makes me feel better? What are the things I've done before that I love? And because of the things I've experienced, I forgot who I am, what I love most, and all that. But if you need help to make this real, because everything takes time, it takes more than 21 days to deprogram a pattern, if no more. So now we are talking about reshading a whole system, a new approach. You will need help. Either a coach or a mentor. But that decision is what you have to make. That call. So three, why am I sharing? Why am I sharing this? Why am I teaching this? I didn't get a chance. I never had. I go from one course to another. I go from one webinar to another. Then I went to doctors. I tried new things. They saw there is a cure for burnout. It will help you. I went to Vienna, to Germany. They are more into ABBA things. No, none of work. I spent a lot of money, wasted 5 years until I finally have to face the truth myself. I lost relationship. I lost home. And that wasn't pretty. Depression is something of it's a horrible disease because you can place your hand on it. You can't identify, or your emotions are either here or is it there every day. And one thing just keep on happening. It wasn't a pretty thing. It wasn't a good experience in life. So, but there is hope. I work with, I'm a chairman with a lady, we call them Lady Circle. In this year to next year, June, we decided to contribute and make campaigns for what they call them young coal. Yes, support them to get him money to help because mental illness is very broad and it's from depression, trauma to any kind of symptoms that people suffer from. And we today support and bring this awareness all over where we can to influence this. Instead of people judging people, be to help. provide services and things that can bring them forward, that can really give them results. But unfortunately, we have a system that is so standardized, but it's left for you and me to take a new approach. If you need, really, really, really need help, make that decision your own. But I've been all over, and this has worked for me. I wish I know this before. He started from one thing, he led it to another. If I can't completely, yeah, five dedicated years, but together from the first day, January 2014, I would say. Well, it has been from the loss of my father 2010. I didn't know about it. So get help, seek for help. Not just help like come and do sections and talk and go. Get help with someone who will help you to dig in and shit down and whatever it is, define fine well go, and you can see the progress, the result. It is good for you. That investment time is good for you, but that decision is yours alone to make. Because I made my clients are doing theirs. Number two, I'm sharing to bring awareness and knowledge. That's what I said before, mentioned earlier. And my method works. It has been proven and evidences, testimonies. And I believe that today you didn't come to this webinar only to just look. You came to this webinar to see what is different. That's my belief. I believe your time is value, otherwise you won't be here. And I respect and I thank you for that, sitting here today, discussing this with me, sharing this. But you have to make a decision that will change your life from where you are now to a new state. There is hope, and you've come to the right place if you want. Like I said, there is a strategic call link there that you can book your time. A free code discovery, it doesn't cost anything. In that section, you can prepare 3 questions that you really want to discuss on something that really, really, really matters to you, and I will help you. Number 3, the change starts now. I keep on saying it even in my Facebook. I don't know if you guys have it. I said, the change, when I wanted this change, I was striving for the change. I was saying, I don't want this life again. I really, really want change. I told the doctor, this is not working. I don't know. My body's paining me. My body's hurting me, everything. I said, I want to change. But I knew it took me time. It took me how many years to understand that change has to be me, because I know me. I know me. No one can define me more than me. Just like that's why it was important for me to ask you to validate yourself, to come into that place of awareness, to validate who are you, what makes you happy, what are the things you've done before, memories, places where you see before this depression or trauma or whatever that is battling you came to your life. Because when you know that, you will know before you are productive, before you are a loving, kind person, and you're still lovable. That passion, that burning who you are is inside you. You just need to fight it and find it. And you need help, I am here for you. But that change is here for you now. The choice is yours. And I tell, no matter what the situation is, it has a end. And there's always a new beginning. I was committed, determined for my goals. I still remember the start. It's impossible. Yeah, it is. It was a tough one. And that is why I'm sharing. I don't want people to go through what I've been through. That long journey, that waste of time, that waste of money. No. With 12 weeks, I can guarantee you that you will be fine. Even from the second week, there will be changes. And we're going to work together in every step by step. So the choice is here today. Well, so the summary of what we've learned today is this. We've learned about the knowledge about depression and trauma. We've talked about the now to the goal situation. I've also presented you the need for change and why, the evidences, there's the scientific life experience as well. I've also presented you the journal, things that I said, you can do today, putting yourself wording, making validations about yourself, and noticing why you are here, and also looking into those questions that I said you should write, putting your own self validation, which is very important. Those words you can start implementing when you leave here, recognizing who you are, taking that ownership of your life. Because I'm telling you, you can't stop who will come to your life. You can't control what they do to you or what they will come and do to you, but you can control, definitely control to say, no, thank you. That validation, I don't recognize myself. That is not who I am. I know who I am. And you don't need to anticipate. You just have to walk away. Take your life, take your peace, take your love somewhere else. Because in that way, when they understand that you no longer engage, explain yourself, defend yourself, they will come to their own self delivery. They will be shocked. Who is this? You take your power back. But remember, there's no quick fix because it takes a lot to do the inner work. It takes a lot. You will need help. You will need help. It took me a lot, a lot to get to where I am. And I'm offering this today because I could see changes, tremendous changes in my clients, and it brings me to a place of joy and happiness that I'm being able to provide a value that really, really, really works for people, brings them to that result. Because I don't want to be part of um, having a client and not be able to give them that significant value that they will always remember that I was with Clementina sections program and I succeeded. That is what brings me, that is my purpose in life. And I'm giving you that opportunity today. So you can continue to write on the Q&A or ask any question you want. Drop the questions there. I will answer you in the Q&A sections. And there's also the link for your free discovery call. Take your moment and book your time. So remember, there are a few things I would like you to remember here. Unaddressed emotions leads to mental disorder that we've seen. We've discussed it. I've shown you even scientific backgrounds. I've shown you. I've also discussed about major contributor to disabilities that's depression and trauma generates. We've also talked about it causes financial loss. For me, it was a huge one, and it took me time to recover from those huge losses, especially financially. Relationship loss, long time sick leave. I'm a workaholic, and all of a sudden I have to lie down where I cannot get up. Um, it is a lot. So remember that the cause. What I asked a client, for example, I asked a client, what is the cause of your happiness? And I'm asking you actually now, what is the cause of your happiness? And what are you ready to lose for your losses? What are you ready to lose? Because today, when people or things happen to me, I ask myself, well, what is it for me? Or do I need to engage? Uh, because it doesn't worth my happiness. I'm not gonna lose my time engage in anything that will bring me to a state that I lose my happiness. But that validation is yours. You need to come to a place when you finish with the 12 weeks program with me, you will shed anything that before you even start. I'm gonna get you prepared. And the result I'm sitting today, I wish I had when I was in that need. And this is why I am sharing and bringing that awareness, helping people today. So the truth is, yeah, and another thing before you leave today, I want you to put this at the back of your mind that you are not alone. I am here. You have my information. You can reach out to me. You can book your discovery call. We can talk. We can make plans. You're just, you have a new community now. I also have a community on Facebook. It's called Togetherness is One. That was built because I want to build a team, a group, a society where we're no longer alone. We support each other, support system. Because after these 12 weeks, you'll be ready to get rid of things, places, people that no longer serve you. People who has refused to see the new you, people who has refused to accept that you have the right to be somebody, they have your own validation, your own dreams, your own purpose in life. People who are fond of putting you down to tell you you are this, you are that, you are that, because they want to shut you down, make you to look small. And when you start saying, well, no, I know who I am and I know what I want in life, but I love you from a place of unconditional love, but I love me more. And you will recognize that people will like, they are not your friend, they don't love you. But that validation, that's really discovery. It's something you will get yourself. You will see that, okay, have I been spending my life with people who really, really, when I'm started being success, then they don't like me anymore? You will see things and you will cut. I'm sorry to say this word, you will cut the bullshit immediately. That I can guarantee you. So, and yeah, so I've said about the community, but I will tell you more when you're in the discovery session. So you can join. I will give you access to join. In that discovery, I mean, in that discovery, and togetherness is one community. You will be having direct access to me. There will be training. There will be group training. There will also be a personal VIP training for you that are going in the program, and also you will have access to me, emergency time. I will give you download in your discovery section. So on how I work. So that's what I'm saying is 12 weeks intensive, but there is a lot. Okay. So like I said, the game changer is you, and it starts now. You have to make that discovery yourself. You need to make that discovery code, and the link is in the chat. And also bear in mind it's you are accountable for your own life. I remember when I want to leave, I was working for Fusheki Kasam for a while. At first I said I want to start a new job, I want to start something new. And I realized that I'm not as productive. I cannot use my education, my skills and knowledge into practicing. And I felt like it's just cycling, it's just in a box. But I want to change that because it's not healthy. It doesn't bring me to the nurse. But I know who can do it. It's me, myself. So I have to make those difficult decisions. One of my clients had a little bit, he has a financial, he's good at what he does, but he just felt like, oh, what is people are going? No, you need to take that hard decision when you're avoiding difficult conversation to take, a short time, go. You end up creating a big mess. So the best thing is you need to evaluate, and I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you in every step. I'm going to support you when you need me. I'm going to hear your thinking. I'm going to ask you why you're thinking like that. How do you think about it? What would I be for you? The moment evaluation, analysis, implementation, execution. But you alone have that permission to have your happiness. I always support you, but you have to. Because I don't want you to leave after the 12 weeks and still be dependent of me. My goal is to get you to be a go-getter. When you leave, you are the queen, the king of your own kingdom. You make your decision. You are on the top yourself. You increase your value. You increase your self-esteem. You undo your future. But of course, I can still support you when you just need few minutes mentoring, few minutes just to have a second opinion over something. After the 12 weeks, I'm still there for you, and you are still part of the community as well. But then you are responsible for your own development. 4 tips I can give you to be successful, to overcome depression, trauma, without losing money and time. You need to work on your mindset. You will need a coach that will assist you in structuring your plans, your goals. I've mentioned it. Not just a coach, I also mentor. I work with timeline. For example, you want to go for an interview or you are running a project or there is something in your life, I am there for you. We're going to work through that period, through that timeline, and you're just going to go and get it, that thing. So I'm also a coach, I'm a mentor. The coach is to get you into that goal-getting stage. The mentoring is to program you that you'll be, very effective and result-oriented. And we're going to use practical applications, proven processes, the programming and reprogramming. These 4 approaches will save you a lot of time, money, and eliminate any life frustration. I'm living that purpose today. My clients, I have clients in Zurich, I have in Sweden, and I have in England, in Ireland also, sorry. Yeah, Ireland as well. And this week I've been able to get from Portugal, and Ireland as well. Because I'm satisfied now, certified international coach, so I can work globally. And another thing, I work through Zoom. If you work with teams, I'm okay with that, but you can tell me how you want it. We will be able to work together. And like I said, I always listen to my clients and make it comfortable for them. So personal service and personal solutions. All right. So now you have a choice. You can make that choice. Either you do nothing about your situation or get help. Get help for a coach or for a mentor. But that choice is yours. I've been to places, I've spent money, I've wasted money, I've done this, done that. It's just unbelievable. But you know your journey best. But I am just here helping through, bringing the awareness, offering you, and telling you there is a chance. But that decision is yours. And when you want to make that decision, we'll find out. You have a discovery section free of charge to book a time with me. Oh, I didn't hear. Okay, the voice is not clear. Okay, I didn't hear that. Is it clear now? Can you write in the chat? I can increase more here. So let's see. It's at 100 now. I hope you can hear me better now. So, alternative, like I said, you can figure out that you would like to work together with me and I can provide you help and more. I can also support you. I've mentioned so many things how I can work. I offer you evidence-based implementation, personalized practical exercises, effective techniques, and proven results. And I'm not just like, but before we go into it, I must do an analysis sections with you. I mean, you need to go through answering some forms. We need to go through certain situationship in your life. And I have to do the analysis to see where you are now and looking into your strengths, looking into your weaknesses, and what are the opportunities, what are the things you like, what are the things you really want to do. So it's a teamwork. There are so many stages in that. And this is how I can help you. Like I said, I have put aside times in a few weeks. Some of my schedules are there that you can book time, and the button is right there, and I can put it on the chat again. More in details, you can book a free section today with me, tomorrow, and on Monday. And there are some free schedules there as well. I will check to see how opening I am also in Tuesday. But there are free, don't panic. The call is absolutely free of charge. I'm not charging you for anything. It's just free discovery call. Importantly, take three questions, three things that is important for you that you need help with. Three things that you want to discuss, that you want to dig into, probably need an advice for. Three things is important. So who is this for? This is for you if you're ready to take action now and make this one judgment call of a decision that will take you to a new state. So this is for you. And if yes, you're ready to make that improvement change. Yeah, throw the slides now. I'm trying to. There we go. I need to see if there is anything. Just a minute. I'm just trying to check here. All right. Like I said, if you're ready, this is it. Mhm. So if yes, this is also that you're already holding yourself accountable, that you are ready that, okay, I'm going to dedicate my time. I'm going to be committed to every exercises, every guidance, and I'm going to really work on it. It is important and you are ready as well to do this. And the message I want to say, yes, if you are in the States right now in this moment, that you have already clarity that now I want to move from where I am and I'm ready to do what it takes to get me to where I want to go. This is for you. This program, the sections, this webinar is for you. Because it's about teamwork. You have to be in the right mind states that the willingness to change is there. There is no doubt. There is no going back. Completely, I'm tired and sick and tired of my pain, my worries, whatever it is. I'm moving on and I want help. I want to change. This is for you. Then I want to say congratulations. And honestly, I want to thank you all for the time, for the, paying attention and listening to me. Um, it brings me honor. It brings me happiness, like knowing that there is people there out there that really wants help and really wants to change their life, because that's the beauty in being human, being like knowing that yes, there is something with me because I know I'm valuable to have a better life than where I am today. It is important. So now, what am I offering this? I mean, why am I offering this? In our private call, I will help you to gain more clarity. We discuss how you can increase your self-worth, create foundation. Like I've discussed, is about bringing those three things that you really, really wanted to discuss a way forward. It's very personal. I cannot generalize, but we're gonna look into that. We're gonna work into, okay, what is this? What exactly are you wishing, dreaming, striving, burning for? Then we can channel it into a personified program for you. And if it works, we'll look into if we can work together. Then we'll make a decision. But I can help you in that section to come into a place of a decision of what you could start with. Another thing is when we work together, I will guide you through the program, step by step procedures. I've mentioned it before, not really in details now, but when in your discovery sections, I will guide you through this and how I can support you to go through every layers of reprogramming your situation to a new state. You're gonna do some discovery exercises that really has to do with you personally, and that is where we will start. Like I said, my methods and techniques have proven through a lot of clients and even social community. At present, I'm offering some communities some help. On Monday, I'm going to be having some. No, actually, supposed to say it now, but okay. Help with the commune, to look into a way forward how I can help people too. So this has been, and I am really glad that we can really work together, both in the social community and also my clients, and also having a new community on my own in my own Facebook togetherness as one. Um, I want to build my goal, my passion is to bring people together and not feeling alone, nothing to be ashamed of. And so we grow with success. We come from wherever that you are going through. You're a human, and there is a way. Supporting each other is a way forward, and growing together, growing into that greatness that you want to become. All right. Um, Here is the link. I will copy it now and put it in the chat. And I want to say something for those who I've provided today. Have been able to provide value. I've been able to. I'm gonna stop sharing for a while. I've been able to provide value. Have been able to talk, explain, and I want to say those who are really, really, really wants to have a Q&A with me one-on-one can stay so I can talk to them in details. Um, this is the calendar. You can all book your time. I've dropped it there. You can book your time. Those who want to talk to me one-on-one, please stay and we can talk one-on-one. And those who have felt like I have given them value and they want to go, they can go. But I really, really want to spend my time to talk to those who really want to talk with me, so we can have a one-on-one conversation. You can ask me questions. So I will be grateful that you stay and we can have a Q&A. So I want to use this moment to say thank you. I've been able to provide the value of you. I hope that this as will bring you to the next stage. But I will really, really want those who wants to ask me questions to stay, so I can help them. All right, thank you, Elena. Thank you. So we wait for a moment for those who wants to ask me questions on the Q&A. Please don't forget to click on the button and book your discovery call. Thank you, Claudia. Inisha, thank you. All right, then I will chat with you. All right. Yes, I will be looking forward to that. Okay. Yeah. So those who wants to have private to talk about Q&A, you can start asking me. Jag ser inte länken. Okej. Där är länken. Eli, där är länken. Yeah, thank you. All right. Yeah, yeah, tack själva. Yeah, I speak a little bit Swedish with my Swedish. So if you're ready now to have some questions, please do, because I'll be able to answer you. So you can ask me questions if you are ready to do. Otherwise, I can. Wait a minute. I can unmute. So try to unmute you all now. So now we can all talk, because now I have been able to. You can unmute yourself. Haley, you can unmute yourself. I've been able to unmute you. You can all talk. Can you hear me? You can unmute yourself. So you can ask me questions. Haley, you can unmute yourself. Rebecca, you can unmute yourself. I've unmute you. Can you hear me? Okay. You can write. If you can, you can write in the chat, please, and I will answer your question. Elizabeth, can you hear me? Because I think they booked the time. Okay. Yeah, I think they decided to book the time. It's okay if you book the time. All right then. Zahir, is there something you want to ask or you want to book the time? Did you see the link? I already put the link there. Yeah, I've unmuted you, Zahir. I have done that. You can unmute yourself. Elizabeth, you cannot, can't you see? I mean, can't you ask? You have unmute yourself. She says she cannot, but I cannot see who is there more. It's just written Saed. I have unmuted you from here. So if you cannot hear, you can write in the chat. I know, okay, yeah, also thank you. That I did already. Yeah, Elizabeth, I could not disable. I don't know what it is. It's just not showing. I have helped her, but it's not working. She's still waiting. The button I couldn't say. Maybe it's here or something. I don't know. I've done that. I think she left now. Oh, she's still there. She's still there. She needs to unmute herself. I don't think she knows that